Hello, my name is Teteje Kepsi Richard. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today our discussion on linear algebra and matrices for that matter will be solving system of equations using Gauss Jordan method. Last we learned how to solve system of equations using Gaussian elimination. This is an improved version of that one. Remember, Gaussian elimination is saying that we reduce an augmented matrix to row echelon form. Gauss Jordan is saying that we reduce the augmented matrix to reduce row echelon form. That means the difference between the Gauss Jordan and Gaussian elimination is that in Gaussian elimination, after we reduce our augmented matrix to row echelon form, we backsolve, if you can remember. If you did not watch that my video, please check it out on YouTube. But today, after we reduce our augmented matrix to reduce row echelon form, we will not backsolve. How do we reduce an augmented matrix to reduce row echelon form? So after we form the augmented matrix from these two unknown variables, A, B, C, D, E, F, okay? This is the augmented matrix. All the entry in the leading diagonal, you make them 1. And all the entry below and above the leading diagonal, you make them 0. So this will be 1, 0, 0, 1. Then we have our values here. So after this, our y will be equal to the value here, and our s will be equal to that value here. So in Gauss Jordan, there is nothing like backsolving. Just make the entry in the leading diagonal 1, and the entry below and above the leading diagonal 0. Then you find a value of the unknowns. The same way, if you have the 3 unknown variables, form the augmented matrix A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, then J, K, L. So our reduced row echelon form will be like this. So 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. Then we have our values here. Now look at it. All the entries in the leading diagonal are 1. All the entries below and above the leading diagonal are 0. So nothing like backsolve. Your z will be equal to the value here. Your y will be equal to the value here. And your s will be equal to the value here. So this is generally about the Gauss Jordan method. We'll take a sample question and I will take you through how to solve it. So we'll solve our first example on 2 unknown variables. You say, solve the system of equation below using Gauss Jordan method. 3x plus 5y equal to 9. 2x minus 3y equal to negative 19. Please, the question says Gauss Jordan, so you can't use Gaussian elimination. So what's the first thing to do? You form the augmented matrix. 3, 5, 2, negative 3. Then 9, negative 13. What is your task? Your task is that you reduce this augmented matrix to reduce row echelon form. That's the entry here. You make them 1. Then the entry below and above them, you make them 0. Nothing like backsolving. So now how do we do that? So our first task is to make the entry here 0. That's if you have any method in mind. But usually I make this here 0. Now, if I multiply this by 2, it's 6. And I multiply this by 3, it's 6. If I subtract this from this, I'll get this 2 0. So I say 3r2 minus 2 times our r1 should be substituted into our r2. That means our first column will not be affected. So we repeat that. Only this place will be affected. So let's go. So 3 times, what's our r2 here? Is 2 minus 2 times, what's our r1 there? Is 3. 3 times 2, 6. 2 times 3, 6. 6 minus 6, then we get our 0 there. The next step, this. So 3 times negative 3 minus 2 times 5. 3 times negative 3, negative 9. 2 times 5 is 10. Negative 10 minus 10 will be negative 19. We write our negative 19 there. The next step, this. So you have 3 times negative 13, that's our R2, minus 2 times 9. 3 times negative 13 will be negative 39. 2 times 9 is 18. Negative 39 minus 18 will be negative 57. Now what's the next thing? The next thing is that we reduce this one. We make the entry here to 0. You know, this is also above the leading diagonal, so we make that one to 0. How do we do it? So we make the entry here to 0. How do we make that? If I multiply this by 19 and I multiply this by 5, if I add them, it becomes 0. So we say 5r2 plus 19r1 should go into our r1. So our second column will not be affected. So 0, negative 90, negative 57. Now we go 5 times our r2. So what's our r2 here? That will be 5 times 0 plus 19 times r1, 3. 19 times 3, so 5 times 0 is 0. 19 times 3 is 57. So 0 plus 57, so this place will be 57. I hope you get that. So the next step, this one. So 5 times our r2 is negative 19, okay, plus 19, our r1 is 5. 5 times negative 19 is negative 95. 19 times 5 will be 95. Negative 95 plus 95 will be 0. So this place will be 0. I hope you get that. Then we'll do it for this one too. Now, 5 times our R2. Our R2 is negative 57. Plus 19 times R1, 9. 5 times negative 57 will be negative 285. Plus 19 times 9 will be 171. Negative 285 plus 171 will be negative 114. So we have negative 114. So now we have succeeded in making our entry below and above the leading diagonal 0. The next thing is that we make the entry in the leading diagonal also what? 1. Now if we divide this by 57, we'll get 1. We divide this by negative 90, we'll get 1. So we say that our R1 divided by 57, let me bring it down small, R1 divided by 57 should go into R1. And our R2 divided by negative 19 should go into our R2. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. So we divide all the columns here by 57 and all the columns here by negative 19. So 57 divided by 57 will be 1. 0 divided by 57 will be 0. Negative 114 divided by 57 will be negative 2. It will be 2. Then 0 divided by negative 19 will be 0. Negative 19 divided by negative 19 will be 1. The negative 57 divided by negative 19 will be 3. So, all the entry in the leading diagonal are now 1. And all the entry below and above it are what? Are 0. So, we can say that our x, look at it, x will be equal to negative 2. And y is equal to 3. So, our x equal to negative 2 and y equal to 3 becomes our values to this system of equation. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. We'll solve one more question on this so that you'll be abreast with the concept. So let's look at our second question. It says, solve the system of equation below using Gauss Jordan method. 6x plus 2y equal to 10, 4x plus 8y equal to 20. So what is the first thing? Form the augmented matrix. 6, 2, 10, 4, 8, negative 20. What is our task? We reduce all the entries here, all the entry in the leading diagonal to be 1, and below and above it to be 0. So look at it. There is a common factor to all this, and another common factor to all that. So I can first reduce that. So I'll say that my R1 divided by 2 should go into R1, and my R2 divided by 4 should go into our R2. So that I can reduce it and the figure will not be huge. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 will be 5. So 2 divided by this 6 is 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now 4 divided by this 4 will be 1. 8 divided by 4 will be 2. Then negative 20 divided by 4 will be negative 5. So I've reduced it. The next thing is that I'll make the entry here 0. Then this one 0. Then this one's 1. How do we do that? So I want to make here 0. Now if I multiply this by 3 and I subtract this from this, it will become 0. So I'll say 3R2 minus our R1 should go into our R2. So our first column will not be affected. So we write 3, 1, 5. Then this. So we have 3 times. What's our R2? That's 1. What's our R1? 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 will be 0. So this place will be 0. The next one. Yeah. So 3 times our R2 there is 2 minus our R1, which is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 1 will be 5. We have 5 there. The next one is this. 3 times negative 5 minus 5. 3 times negative 5 will be negative 15. Negative 15 minus 5 will be negative 20. So we have reduced this to 0. Now the next thing is to reduce this to 0. How do we do that? If I multiply this by 5, okay, and I subtract this from this, it will become 0. So I'll say that 5R1 minus my R2 should go into R1. So the second column will not be affected, right? 0, 5, negative 20. Only this will be affected. So we have 5 times. What's our R1 here? Is 3. Minus our R2 there is 0. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 0 will be 15. The next one, this. 5 times 1, R2 is 5. 5 times 1, 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. This place becomes 0. Then this. What's our R1 there? Is 5. What's our R2? Is negative 20. So minus negative 20. 5 times 5 is 25. Negative, so this will become plus 20. 25 plus 20 is 45. So right, 45. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. Now, all the entry below and above are 1. The next is to make the entry in the leading diagonal 1. If I divide this by 15, it will become 1. I divide this by 5, it will become 1. So I'll use 15 to divide the whole of this and 5 to divide the whole of that. So I'll say my R1 divided by 15 should go into our R1. Then my R2 divided by 5 should go into my R2. So we go. 15 divided by 15 is 1. 0 divided by 15 is 0. 45 divided by 15 is 3. 0 divided by 5 is 0. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Negative 20 divided by 5 will be negative 4. So we are done. So we can conclude that our x is equal to 3. Then y will be equal to negative 4. Without back solving. So that's one good aspect of the Gauss Jordan method. Now the next thing is we go to the 3 unknown variables. That one is the interesting one. So we solve the next. Solve the system of equation below using Gauss Jordan method. Remember there are 3 unknown variables here. The first thing is you form the augmented matrix. So this will be 1. Remember the coefficient. Then 1, then 2, then 9 for the first column. Then we have 2, 4, negative 3, 1. Then 3, 6, negative 5, 0. What is our task? We make all the entry here below the leading diagonal 0. all the entry in the leading diagonal 1, and all the entries above it also 1. We will not. So we'll make all the entry below the leading diagonal as 1, as 0, entry below it as 0, all the entry in the leading diagonal as 1, and all the entry above it as 0. Then nothing like back solving. Now how do we do that? Look at it. If I multiply this by 3, okay, and I subtract it from this, it will become 0. It will become 0. So I'll multiply all this by 3 and subtract it from their individual. So our R1 and R2 will not be affected. Only R3 will be affected. So we'll say our R3 minus 3 times R1, okay, should go into R3. So our first and second column will not be affected. I'll repeat that. 1, 1, 2, 9, then 2, 4, negative 3, 1. Only this will be affected. So the first one, R3 here is 3 minus 3 times R1. R1 there is 1. 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So we write 0 there. You go here, this and this. So R3 there is 6 minus 3 times 1. 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. We go for this and this. Our R3 there is negative 5 minus 3 times R1 is 2. Negative 5. 3 times 2 is 6. Negative 5 minus 6 will be negative 11. So we put negative 11 there. The next one is this and that. R3 there is 0. Minus 3 times R1. The R1 is 9. 0 minus 3 times 9 is 27. 0 minus 27 will be negative 27. Write the negative 27. I hope you get that. The next thing is that we make the entry here also 0. Now how do we make it 0? If I multiply this by 2 and I subtract it from this, it will become 0. So I'll say R2 minus 2 times our R1 should go into my R2. So my R1, the first column and the third column will not be affected. So we write them. I hope you are getting that. 0, 3, negative 11, negative 27. So only the middle column will be affected. So we go. What's our R2 there? Is 2. Minus 2 times. What's our R1? Our R1 is, so 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So this becomes 0. The next thing is this. So this and this. What's our R2 here is 4. Minus 2 times. What's our R1 is 1. 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 will be 2. So I'll write 2 there. Please take your time and do it well. So our R2 is negative 3. Yeah. Minus 2 times R1 there is 2. Negative 3. 2 times 2 will be 4. Negative 3 minus 4 will be negative 7. So I'll write my negative 7 there. Minus 7. The next one is this and this. So my R2 there is 9. Is 1. Sorry, is 1. Minus 2 times my R1 is 9. So 1. 2 times 9 is 18. 1 minus 8 is negative 17. So I'll write negative 17 there. So that's it. So I've succeeded in making this one 0. The next one is I'll make this 0. How do I make it 0? See, if I multiply this by 3 and I multiply this by 2, if I subtract it from it, it will become 0. So that's the next thing. Okay, so we have this. Now we want to make this 0. So we say that 2R3, okay, minus 3R2 should go into our R3. So our R1, the first column and the second column will not be affected. So I'll repeat that. So now we do it for this. So 2 Whilst our R3 here is 0, minus 3. Whilst our R2 is also 0. 2 times 0 is 0, 3 times 0, 0 minus 0 will be 0, so we don't have problem. The next one, 2 times 3 minus 3 times 2. 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6, 6 minus 6 is 0. We don't have problem there. Now for this, 2 times negative 11 minus 3 times negative 7. 2 times negative 11 will be negative 22. Negative 3 times negative 7, that will be plus 21. Negative 22 plus 21 will be negative 1. So write a negative 1. Now for this, for that. So we have 2 times negative 27 minus 3 times negative 17. 2 times negative 27 will be negative 54. Negative 3 times negative 17 will be plus 51. Negative 54 plus 51 will be negative 3. So write there negative 3. So the next thing is that we make the entry, now the entry below it as 0. Now the entry above it, we make it what? We make it also 0. Now I want to make this one 0. How do I make it 0? If I multiply this by 7, and I subtract it from this, it becomes 0. It becomes 0. So we say that 7 times R3 minus R2. Okay, 7 times this minus that should be substituted into our R2. So how do we do that? So as I said, our R1, our first column and the second column will not be affected. So let us repeat those values. 1, 1, 2, 9, 0, 0, negative 1, negative 3. Only the middle one, because it's going into R2. It's going into R2. So the first one, so 7 times, what's our R3 there is 0 minus 0. 7 times 0, 0. 0 minus 0 will be 0, so 0. Now we'll go here. 7, our R3 there is 0 minus 2. 7 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 2 will be negative 2. So we write here negative 2. The next one is this. So the 7 times negative 1 minus negative 7. 7 times negative 1 will be negative 7. This will be plus 7. So this will be 0. The next one is this. So 7 times negative 3 minus negative 17. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21 plus 17. Negative 21 plus 17 will be negative 4. So negative 4. So we have succeeded in making this one to 0. The next one is we make this 0. How do we make it 0? If I multiply this by 2 and I add it to this, it will become 0. When I multiply this by 2, it will become negative 2. Negative 2 plus 2 will be 0. So that's the next thing we'll do. Okay, so we say our R1 plus 2 times of R3, okay, should go into R1. So our second and third column will not be affected. So I repeat those ones. 1, 1, 2, 9, then, so our second and third, our second and third will not be affected. So 0, negative 2, 0, negative 4. Then 0, 0, negative 1, negative 3. Only the first will be affected because it's going to that. So we go. What's our R1 here? Is 1. Plus 2 times. What's our R3? Is 0. 1, 2 times 0 is 0. So we have 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1 there. So now this and that. Our R1 there is 1. Plus 2 times. What's our R3? Is 0. 1 plus 2 times 0 is 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1 there. The next one is this against that. Our R1 there is 2. Plus 2 times our R3 is negative 1. So 2. 2 times negative 1 will be negative 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So this place is 0. Now this against that. Our R1 there is 9. Plus 2 times Our R3 is negative 3. Now, 2 times negative 3 will be negative 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. So, 3 there. So, now we have succeeded in making this one to 0. The next thing is we make this one 0. This one, the entry. So, if I multiply this also by 2 and I add it to this, I'll get 0. So, how do I do that? I'll say 2 times R1 plus R2 should go into R1. So the second and the third column will not be affected. So 0, negative 2, 0, negative 4, 0, 0, negative 1, negative 3. Only the first will be affected. So let's go. 2 times, what's our R1 here? Our R1 there is 1 plus R2, 0. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 0 will be 2. So 2 here. So now this against that. 2 times, what's our R1 there is 1. What's our R2 there? Negative 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Minus 2. 2 minus 2 will be 0. So this place is 0. Now this and this. 2 times our R1 there is 0. Our R2 is also 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. So you have 0 there. Now this against that. What's our R1 there? Is 3 plus our R2. R2 is negative 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. So 2 here as well. Now all the entries below and above it are what? Are 0. What's the next thing? We make all the entries in the leading diagonal as 1. If we divide this by 2, we'll get 1. We divide this by negative 2, we'll get 1. Then we'll multiply this by negative 1, we'll get 1. So we do it for all. So we say that R1 divided by 2 should go into R1. Then R2 divided by negative 2 should go into R2. Then negative R3 should go into R3. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. So we divide all this by 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. 0 divided by 2 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is 0. 2 divided by 2 will be 1. Then this. We'll divide all that by negative 2. 0 divided by negative 2 will be 0. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 will be 1. 0 divided by negative 2 will be 0. Then negative 4 divided by negative 2 will be 2. We negate all this one. We multiply all this by negative 1. This by negative 1, 0. This by negative 1, 0. This by negative 1 will be 1. This by negative 1 will be 3. So, we have succeeded in making all the entry below and above it 0. And all the entry in the leading diagonal as 1. So, we can conclude. Let me conclude here. So, our S is equal to 1. Okay? Our Y is equal to 2. And our Z is equal to 3. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. Nothing like back solving. This is one good aspect of Gauss Jordan method. So solve one more question on the 3 by 3 or the 3 unknown variables. So solve the system of equation below using the Gauss Jordan method. So first thing, we form the augmented matrix. Very, very important. So this will be negative 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1. The coefficient here is negative 1. Then our constant. Then we have 6, negative 6, 7, negative 7. Then 3, negative 4. Then 4, negative 6. So we make all the entry below 0, all the entry above 0, then all the entry in the leading diagonal as 1. Nothing like back solving. So, look at it. I want to make the entry here 0. If I add this to this, the entry here will be 0. So I'll say R3 plus R1 should go into our R3. So the first column and the second column will not be affected. So let's repeat that. Negative 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1. Then we have 6, negative 6, 7, negative 7, only this will be affected. So now let's go. Negative 3 plus 3, that will be 0. 2 plus negative 4 will be negative 2. Negative 1 plus 4 will be 3. The negative 1 plus negative 6 will be negative 7. I hope you get that. The next thing is, I'll make this one 0. How do I make it 0? If I multiply this by 2 and I add it to this, it will be 0. So I will say that my R2 plus 2 times R1 should go into R2. So my first column and the third column will not be affected. So let's repeat that. Negative 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1. Then 0, negative 2, 3, negative 7. Only the middle one. So what's our R2 here? Is 6 plus 2 times R1. R1 there is negative 3. 6. 2 times negative 3 is negative. 6 minus 6 is 0. So this place will be 0. The next one, this and this. What's our R2 there? Negative 6 plus 2 times R1, which is 2. Negative 6, 2 plus 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. I'll write my negative 2 there. Then the next one is this and this. 7 plus, what's my R1 there? Negative 1. 2 minus 1, 2 times 1 will be negative 2. 7 minus 2 will be 5. I'll write my 5 there. Then this and that. R2 there is negative 7. So negative 7 plus 2 times negative 1. Negative 1. So negative 7. 2 times negative 1 will be negative 2. Then negative 7 minus 2 will be negative 9. Then I'll write my negative 9 there. The next thing is, I'll make this 0. How do I make this 0? See, if I subtract this from this, it becomes 0. It becomes 0. So I'll say that my R3 minus my R2 should go into R3. So the first and the second column will not be affected. Let me repeat that. Negative 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1. Then 0, negative 2, 5, negative 9. Only the third. So we add this to this. 0 plus 0 will be 0. We subtract. 0 minus 0 will be 0. Negative 2. See, negative 2 minus negative 2. It will be negative 2 plus 2. That will be 0. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. Then this and this. We subtract this from this. 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5 will be negative 2. Then this. Negative 7 minus negative 9. So this will be negative 7 plus 9. Negative 7 plus 9 is 2. So we get 2 there. So now all the entry below the principal diagonal are 0. Now our task is to make all the entry above it also 0. So we have this. Now I want to make all the entry above it 0. So I want to make this one 0. How do I make it 0? If I multiply this by 2, it's 10. And I multiply this by 5, it becomes negative 10. When I add them and substitute here, this will become 0. So how do I do that? I'll say 5 times R3 plus 2 times R2 should be substituted into R2. So my first and the last column will not be affected. So let me repeat those one. 3, 2, make 1, make 1. Then 0, 0, make 2, 2. Only the middle one. So let's go. This and this. 5. What's R3 there is 0. Plus 2. What's our R2 there is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. So perfect. We have our 0 there. Now this against that. So 5 times. What's our R3 here is 0. Plus 2 times. What's our R2 is negative 2. 5 times 0 is 0. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Interesting. The next one is this again. So 5 times, what's our R3 there? Make 2 plus 2 times 5. 5 times make 2, make 10. 2 times 5, 10. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0. So write our 0 there. The next one is this. So 5 times 2 plus 2 times make 9. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times make 9 will make 18. 10 minus, so 10 plus make 18 will be negative 8. So write our negative 8 there. Perfect. So we are done in making that one to 0. What's the next thing? We make this 0. We make this 0. How do we make it 0? See, if I multiply this by 2, it becomes negative 2. Then when I subtract negative 2 from negative 2, it will be 0. So I'll say that 2R1 minus my R3 should go into R1. So my second and third column, nothing will happen to them. So I will repeat them. I will just repeat them. My second and third column. Let me lower this very well. So I have 0, make 4, 0, make 8. Then I have 0, 0, make 2, 2. Only the first one will be affected since it is going to R1. So I'm using R1 against R3. So 2 times. What's my R1 there? Is make 3. What's my R3 there? Is 0. 2 times make 3 makes 6. Minus 0. Make 6 minus 0 will still make 6. So write make 6. I hope you get that. The next one is this against that. So 2 times. What's my R1 there is 2. Then minus 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 0 will be 4. I have 4 there. The next one is this against that. So 2 times, what's my R1 is make 2. Minus R3. My R3 is make 2 as well. So what's my R1 is make 1. Is make 1. Then my R3 is make 2. So 2 times R1, 2 times negative 1 will be negative 2. The negative minus, negative times negative 2 will be plus 2. Negative 2 plus 2 will be 0. So I've succeeded in getting my 0 there. Now this against that, the last one for me. So 2 times, what's my R1 there is negative 1. What's my R3? My R3 is 2. So minus 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative, 2 times negative 1 will be negative 2. Negative 2 minus 2 will be make 4. So I'll write my make 4 there. So the next thing is, I'll make this one to 0. So we have this. The next thing is to make this 0. So look at it, if I add negative 4 to 4 is 0. So I'll add my R2 to my R1, then I'll get 0. So I'll say R1 plus my R2 should go into R1. I hope you get that. So my second one and the third one will not be affected. So negative 8, 0, 0, negative 2, 2. Only the first one. So let's go. So what's our R1? The negative 6. Negative 6 plus 0 will be still negative 6. You don't have problem there. So negative 4. So this is R1 is 4 plus negative 4. 4 plus negative 4 is 4 minus 4, which is 0. Then 0 plus 0 is 0 for that one. Then the last one here, negative 4 plus negative 8. That will be negative 12. So we'll have negative 12 there. So all the entry below and above now are 0. Now all the entry in the leading should be made 1. If I divide this by negative 6, it will become 1. Divide this by negative 4, 1. Divide this by negative 2, also 1. So I'll divide all of that by negative 6. Divide all of this by negative 4. Divide all of that by negative 2. So I'll say R1 divided by negative 6 should go into R1. Then R2 divided by negative 4 should go into R2. Then R3 divided by negative 2 should go into R3. So let's go. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 will be 1. So this will be 0, 0. Negative 12 divided by negative 6 will be 2. This by 4, negative 4. So 0. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 will be 1. 0 will be 0 divided by negative 4 will be 0. Negative 4 divided by negative 8 divided by negative 4 will be 2. Then this by negative 2. This will be 0, 0. This 2 divided by negative 2 will be negative 1. So we have done that now. So our matrix, our augmented matrix is now in reduced row echelon form. So we can conclude that our S is 2, Y is 2, and Z is negative 1. I hope you get that. One good aspect of what I'm doing is that you won't get any fraction for it to disturb you. So we'll end it here today. Please play over the video and I know you will get a concept. Before you cut it, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that if I post more of this, you'll be the first to receive it. Until we meet again, bye-bye.